They're back!
Okay, now that I've calmed down a bit, let's talk about Monster Hunter Rise. I'm just going to put this disclaimer here. I am 100% biased. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak is my favorite Monster Hunter game. Coming as someone who started with Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, played Generations, Generations Ultimate, World, Iceborne, Rise, Sunbreak, and Wilds, Sunbreak to me is the peak of Monster Hunter. And the other day I was watching a video by Arknight called I'm Done Apologizing for Enjoying Wilds. And you know, that's a whole sentiment I agree with too. I've made a video about how much I like Monster Hunter Wilds, but I'm seeing a lot of revisionist history in some of these comment sections. Because in order to slander Monster Hunter Wilds, what a lot of people are doing is talking about how great Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter World were. And I can go into World later, but I remember the beginning of 2021, Monster Hunter Rise had just dropped. Being a Monster Hunter Rise defender was much harder than being a Monster Hunter Wilds defender, and I will stand by that statement. The slander campaign against Monster Hunter Rise lasted well into Sunbreak, to the point where people were saying that it was a bad game in general, not just a bad Monster Hunter game. It was only after Monster Hunter Wilds came out that people started to change their tune and act like they had liked Rise the whole time. But I remember. Honestly, that's kind of the thing with the Monster Hunter community. Whatever the newest Monster Hunter game is the worst. Until the next Monster Hunter game comes out, then it was actually peak the whole time. And the only game that escaped from this was Monster Hunter World, because a majority of people that played World were completely new to the franchise. Whereas right now, we're back into that cycle. Rise is peak because Wilds has come out, and then once a new game comes out, Wilds will have been peak the whole time. But that's enough complaining, because I'm here today to spread some positivity about my favorite Monster Hunter game, Monster Hunter Rise, and talk about why exactly it is that this is my favorite game in the franchise. I'll split it up into segments so that you can skip ahead to whatever you want to hear about, but first, I'll talk about the visuals. I think the visual design of Monster Hunter Rise is gorgeous. It's a happy middle between the old world and the new. It manages to keep that aesthetic design of Monster Hunter World while maintaining the vibrance and kind of silliness that comes along with some older Monster Hunter titles. I think that this is especially noticeable with the elemental attacks from some of these monsters, especially the Elder Dragons. You take a look at something like Narwa, you see her use her lightning, and it's just so vibrantly yellow. Or you look at Teostra and his flames really flicker. You can feel the fire emanating off of him because it is fire, it's bright, it's powerful, it's in your face. Even the element that appears on me when I'm using my hammer feels vibrant, right? The fact that I flash purple, then blue, then white, and I know that the charge is ready because the visual design has so clearly indicated to me that it is time and I'm about to smack the monster in the head with the most powerful infused strike possible. Now, of course, the main reason for this vibrance probably is because Monster Hunter Rise was developed for the Switch, which is a handheld device, meaning that all of the different colors and elements would have needed to be as visual as possible in order for you to see them on a smaller screen. And that's just the colors of this game. When I specifically look at the armor designs, the weapons, and especially the monsters, I fall in love with this game all over again. And speaking of monsters, just take a look at some of the original designs for monsters in Monster Hunter Rise. I mean, the Japanese motif for some of these designs is so beautiful, and some of my favorite monster designs have come out of this game. Specifically, Gothorog as one of my personal favorites. I love his design. I love the way that he uses ice both as a projectile and as a weapon, and I sincerely hope he comes back in Monster Hunter Wilds in some way, shape, or form. And while Monster Hunter Rise might not have the most realistic of graphics, and it definitely leans more into that cartoony aspect, I think that its color grading and its visual design are top tier even within the Monster Hunter franchise, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Another one of the best parts about Monster Hunter Rise is the cinematics, or I guess the way the game is presented. Monster Hunter Rise does a lot not only to build up the monsters as these cool and terrifying threats, but also your relationship with the villagers and the members of the Elgato Outpost as you help solve their problems for them. For example, every single time you begin a hunt with a brand new monster, there's a very cool intro cinematic that is meant to paint the monster in their best light. They're not trying to show you what they look like in their natural environments or what they look like as part of some greater ecological scheme, but instead frame them as these mythical beasts that you are tasked with taking down. But in this task, you are not alone. The members of the Elgato Outpost, as well as Kamura Village, are fully capable of hunting monsters on their own, and they show you as much both in cutscenes and in gameplay. And I think there's a very good example of this. To set the stage, you're tasked with hunting the Archdemon of the Abyss, Guise Magorn, the literal devil of Monster Hunter. And usually, every single monster kind of waits in their location until you show up to challenge them, but this time, Guise Magorn takes the offensive. It waits until you're out on an expedition and it reveals itself, ready to take down the outpost once and for all. And without you, the main character there to challenge Guise Magorn, all hope feels lost. Until...
Admiral Gallius!
They've done it. They've actually done it!
Look at the size of it! On port! On port!
What is he going to do?
Now, full speed ahead! Full speed ahead! Dragon
In previous Monster Hunter games, you only really knew that the other NPCs could hunt from sheer word of mouth. You didn't actually see much going on, and that's why I love that in Rise they actually have so many examples of other people being good at hunting monsters. This extends even into the gameplay where you're allowed now to take support hunters with you on quests, actually being able to see these hunters in gameplay fight alongside you. Dame Fiorine in particular has a very amazing moment during this Geismagorn hunt where she just... Okay, I'll let you take a look for yourself.
Attack! Clouds will part, the stars will shine. Everlasting shadow be gone!
I can't stress this enough, this is the big moment in the final boss battle when the theme changes to Proof of a Hero. This is like the moment in every Monster Hunter game, and they gave it to an NPC. That's awesome, right? These characters deserve to have the spotlight, and I honestly was so hyped the first time I saw Dame Fiorine do this because, like, I don't know, it's just so cool. Maybe I'm just weird, but I really love seeing the NPCs actually contribute to our hunts and not just as flavor text, but actually in the game. The aspect of Monster Hunter Rise that is probably its most well-known feature is definitely its combat. In fact, Monster Hunter as a whole, I would probably say has some of the best combat in video game history, but Monster Hunter Rise and specifically Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak really takes the cake here. Of course, every weapon type got new moves and new ways to play as they do from Monster Hunter game to Monster Hunter game, but the big two changes specific to Monster Hunter Rise were wire bugs and switch skills. Let me start off by talking about switch skills because I feel like the conversation is a little bit shorter. I think they are a net benefit for the franchise. If they could be brought back in some way, shape, or form in Monster Hunter Wilds and every Monster Hunter game going forward, I would be happy. If you didn't know, switch skills essentially allow you to change out one part of your weapon's moveset for something else. And this could be something like a different Silkbind attack subbing out for another one, or having a completely different moveset in the first place. The severity and the strength of these switch skills varies from move to move and weapon to weapon, but I think the overall concept fits Monster Hunter perfectly. And what I mean by this is that fundamentally at its core, Monster Hunter is a build crafting game. You hunt monsters to make better gear, so you can hunt stronger monsters to make better gear, so you can hunt the strongest monsters to make better gear, and so on and so on. In Monster Hunter, your build is the perfect place to showcase your personality. What skills are you going for? What items are you going to bring? What weapon are you going to use? And how are you going to use it are all ways of expressing yourself within the game. So many sub-communities within the broader Monster Hunter community have formed around specifically which weapon type people use. And I feel like being able to go even deeper into your weapon's moveset and actually change how it operates on a fundamental level is just another opportunity to express who you are as a player. So that's switch skills. They're cool, they're unique, they're interesting, and I really hope they make a return in future entries. But they're also less controversial than their other half, which I would consider their cooler half, the wire bug. Now, the wire bug entirely shifts the focus of Monster Hunter Rise from being more reaction-based to being very, very proactive. The wire bug enables so much movement that it's not even funny. In Monster Hunter Rise, you can dash, you can grapple hook, you can climb up basically any surface, you can dangle in the air, and that's just the mobility the wire bug affords you outside of combat. With the wire bug, mounting is a thing of the past. You now wyvern ride. What is wyvern riding, you ask? Well, it's exactly what you're seeing on your screen. You can ride the monster, control its moveset, and use it to attack other monsters. And of course, depending on how effectively you use the wyvern riding, you can do a lot of damage. And that's not even all of it. The coolest part about the wire bug is that it grants you access to Silkbind attacks. Think of these as the special moves from Generations Ultimate, but less over the top and way more spammable. The main controversy of Silkbind moves is that they move away from the preparation and natural aspect of Monster Hunter and more into the realm of arcadey action. And if I can let you guys in on a little bit of a secret here, I don't care. Right? I think this is awesome. I think the arcadey action of Monster Hunter Rise is so much fun. Now, would I want every single Monster Hunter game to be like this? No, but I think for what it is and what it's trying to do, Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak is a masterclass on action combat in video games. Even after playing a couple hours of Monster Hunter Rise, going back to any other Monster Hunter game feels so hard because the combat in Rise Sunbreak is just so head and shoulders beyond everything else that Capcom has made. It's not even funny. But yeah, this is all I basically have to say about Monster Hunter Rise, and the reason why I'm making this video in the first place is because I want to shill this game. I think it is amazing, and I think that negative sentiment surrounding it might stop people who otherwise would have loved this game from getting it. Monster Hunter Rise goes on sale all the time. Literally, you can pick up both the base game and its expansion for under $20 regularly. So please, 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 if you are looking into getting into Monster Hunter at all and you are thinking Monster Hunter Wilds looks a little bit too daunting, it's a little bit too expensive, and the reviews are too negative, I highly recommend you check out Monster Hunter Rise. You will not be disappointed. Other than that, that's all I had to say for this video. Thank you for watching and happy hunting.
Quest complete!